Can't you hear my heartbeat so I can't let you go? Want you in my life.
Ever since I was 3 years old, I've gone through a lot of bad drama and unnecessary drama with not just my own family, but people in school and people at churches and stuff like that. And even people that don't even know me, and some people that personally know me, and I'm just like, this is a bunch of crap how much I've gone through in my life, especially with my dad and other men and women in this world. I have been treated badly by both genders in this world ever since I was 3 years old. I have been cussed at in every way, in every form, ever since I was 3 years old. That's the whole reason why I ended up learning cuss words in the first place. And whatever. And then somebody ended up ruining my hair when I was in daycare, and I had to work on growing it all out again. And so my hair ended up looking like a guy's hair for a very long time. That's why I don't like short hair at all. And then, when I was, it took a very long time for it to grow out, and, it was still short hair when I got into kindergarten, because it took a lot of work with my family helping me and stuff for me to even pass pre-K. I think I did pre-K twice. And then I ended up barely passing kindergarten because people wanted me to repeat kindergarten just because of how my behavior was back then. But in kindergarten was so bad for me because the female teacher in kindergarten had misunderstood me and my family and tried to accuse my family of sexual abuse and harassment just because of my reactions in my life back then, and that I was still wearing a diaper. And one day I did something that she didn't like. She had grabbed both of my wrists and grabbed my hands all the way to the sink. It was truly terrifying because nobody had grabbed my hands like that before. And she was grabbing them really tight, and she forced me to wash my hands. Like, literally grabbing my hands and telling me to wash my hands all on her own. And I was like, this woman is a little biatch psycho. And I was just doing my best all through kindergarten just to ignore her bloody little brain. And then, whatever. And, I sure hope she eventually got fired from her job. She had no right doing that to me. And then, after I got into first grade, things were a bit more peaceful, but I was still bullied a lot. And, Miss Thompson went out of her way to help me be at peace with myself in first grade, even with everybody bullying me and a bunch of bullshit. And, I had, run into this, Black American boy that was disrespecting the teacher, and I went out of my way to talk back to him because it was uncalled for his behavior, for one, and the teacher was going out of her way to help me be at peace with myself. He had no right talking to her that way. At all. Anyways, and then it wasn't until my later years that he had, apologized to me for his actions. He ended up being sent to the principal's office and sent to boot camp because of his behavior. Anyways, or some sort of school to properly correct his behavior and attitude, and whatever. And, and I had gone with my mom, and my dad wasn't there at all. I had gone with my mom during the summer in, the first, 6 months of school to go visit my grandma, Graves for a while, Grandpa Graves. And, I think Grandma and Grandpa could tell that I didn't know how to do any chores at the time. That's why I refused Uncle Art telling me to do dishes and stuff because I just didn't know how. And because my whole family there at the time was physically ill and physically weak and couldn't stand up for me, Uncle Art had taken me to the corner and spanking my butt so hard it was butt red. And so I was afraid and mad at him for a very, very long time. Um, it wasn't until my mom had gone to my Uncle Art and my grandpa and told them that she forgave them for what they did to her, that they started being nice to her, and it took me a very, very long time to follow the same example because I was still afraid of Uncle Art because of what he did to me and whatever, and I never ever had a problems talking to my Grandpa Graves for a very long time. Because he's my grandpa and he's been nice to me and my family for a very long time. But for a long time, I was angry and upset with my Uncle Art because I had gone down the hallway one day and I didn't make myself known. But when I was 9 years old, before I had left the house, I had gone into my room. I started walking to my room and I looked at my grandpa and my Uncle Art because I could see the door halfway open and I could hear everything they were saying about me. And it was breaking my heart because Uncle Art was saying a lot of bad things about my disabilities, and I can't change nor help my disabilities. I just can't. And, so I had heard everything that he'd said bad about me, and I still didn't care. Because I can't change who I am. And so I left and walked down the hallway and just sat down like nothing happened because I really can't change who I am. And, it wasn't until later when I was 14 or 15 when my mom and my dad had gone back up there to visit my family again that I felt it was time to say that I forgave him for what the crap he did to me because at this point I had read chapter Matthew 5 so many times. I knew it was time to apologize, I knew it was time to forgive and forget because he's my uncle. And he's a part of my family. So, anyways. And, whatever. And then, when I, unfortunately, as a 9-year-old, I had a lot of nightmares in my life. Truly terrible ones, especially because of my dad was treating me at home. Unnecessarily. And the last thing he did when I was 9 truly terrified me and made me afraid of his temper. It made me afraid of my father for a very long time in general. And he may not remember what has happened anymore, but he's done so many terrible things to me in this world. And yet I still love him, and I'm just tired of him treating me this way. When I was in 9th grade, I was the tallest girl there because I've inherited most of my dad's genes. And because I'd been bullied so much in the Lakeside School and at Giesinger, I had literally done everything possible to hide every single part of my body, including my hands, because I wanted to be at peace with myself. I really did, especially for the first day of school. Back. Because Giesinger Elementary literally haunts me. To this day. I didn't make any female friends at all until I was in 5th grade. I started walking down the hallway, and I prayed to Heavenly Father if it was at all possible for me to make a friend at all, an advice giver and a listener in my life, then that's what I truly need in my life right now. And as I started walking down the hallway, I had actually saw a man with black short hair that had oddly caught my attention because he was taller than me. And I just asked him what his first name was when I went down the hallway. And I started asking him if he wanted to follow me towards class. And he said sure. And whatever. And I started walking with him down the hall. And walking to the English class. And I had asked him, because I believe I was only sitting across from him, or I was to the left of him, or right of him, or whatever. All I remember is I was really close to him on the same table in English class. And I had asked him if he wanted to be friends with me, because it was really hard for me to make friends at all. And he said sure. And after a while, after me and him being friends over the years, because he was helping me feel safe and protected and with myself, which he didn't have to willingly or voluntarily do, he just did. I ended up falling in love with him. I knew how much I was falling in love with him, because he was being nice to me when all these other women and men were doing everything possible to make me feel like shit over the years. I've been cussed at ever since I was 3 years old in this world. I have been mistreated by women and men ever since I was 3 years old and practically born into this world. I really am sick and tired of the mistreatment. And I know Heavenly Father is tired of me being misunderstood and assumed all of my life, especially with how many times I've been on the brink of death in my life. So, if I end up dying after summer, or if my life ends up changing after this summer, I'll be happy either way. I respect the dead so much and what they sacrificed for us in our lives, because of how many times I've had to go to PCP, hospitals, ERs, and referrals over the years, because of how sick I've gotten internally over the years, and how physically injured I've gotten over the years, because people who have bullied me, people who have tortured me, people who have done everything possible to me in life to make me feel bad about myself. 70% of those injuries were caused by humans alone, which could have been avoided, wasn't necessary, and about 80 of them were on purpose, and about 20% of them were accidental. And I'm just like, this is crap. Really, truly, a bunch of crap. And I know my body can't handle any needles or surgeries anymore, because of how bad I keep on getting bruised in my life because of them. I really don't need to be in a hospital anymore. I don't. Which is what I'm trying to prevent. So, if I end up dying, safely having these kids at home or whatever issues I'm having, then you know what? So be it. I've already struggled through so much in my life. If I end up dying with whatever issues I'm having now, then, whatever. All I've wanted my whole life is to just be at peace with myself. So, anyway.